Hello everybody, it's Rick here again. And we are here in my garage because I want to give you a review of the Stug III B, Tier 4 German tank destroyer. Its full name was the Sturmgeschütz III. It was an assault gun that was produced by the Germans during World War II. Its intended purpose was to provide direct fire support to the infantry to deal with bunkers and pillboxes and the like. The Germans quickly saw its utility as an anti-tank weapon and ended up employing it in the tank destroyer role. It was used particularly as such on the Eastern Front. It was the vehicle that German Tiger I ace Michael Wittmann used when he first entered armored warfare. Now this model of the Stug III is FB. It was produced in a quantity of 300 and was produced from June 1940 to May 1941. So what can we say about this tank in World of Tanks? Well, let's take a look at the tech tree. Here we see that the Stug III B is one of 3 Tier 4 German tank destroyers. You have the Marder 38T, Stug III B, and the Hetzer. The Hetzer is very popular with tank destroyer drivers. The Stug III B is usually probably seen a little less. Some patches back, and I don't even remember which one, you could only go from the 38T or the Hetzer to the Stug III, which is at Tier 5. But at one patch, some point back, they split it into 2 variants, the Stug III B and the Stug III G. Typically, the most tank destroyers you're going to see out there are Hetzers. They're very popular, and it's a very good tank destroyer. As I said, you probably see less of the Stug III B. I think part of the reason for that is if you look at just where it is, you go from the Marder 2 to the Marder 38T to the Stug III B, which is another Tier 4, to get to the Stug III. Or you go from the Marder 2 to the Hetzer and then to the Stug III G. And you skip the Stug III B altogether, as well as the Marder 38T goes to the Panzer SFL 4C. So you can work up that line. So it's reasonable to see that a lot of players might skip the Stug III B. But should they? After all, what does the Stug III B really have over the Hetzer? Well, I have found the Stug III B to be a fast and maneuverable tank destroyer, which the Hetzer and the Marder 38T simply are not. I have a couple replays that I'm going to show to you where the Stug III speed and maneuverability got me out of trouble. Now that's not to take anything away from the Hetzer. I mean, I would consider the Hetzer to be better than the Marder 38T. But if I can get some facts on this, looking here, okay, the Hetzer has a top speed of 42 kilometers per hour, though I don't know that if I've ever reached that. And it has a traverse speed of 28 degrees per second. The Stug III B, on the other hand, has a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour, and I certainly believe I've hit that a number of times. It has very fast acceleration. Also, its traverse speed is 40 degrees per second, far better than the Hetzer's. However, armor on the Stug III B is a bit less. It has only 50 millimeters of hull armor to the front, which is equal to, I think, the Panzer III, though I might be wrong. The sides are 30 millimeters, and the rear is 30 millimeters. Going back and taking a look at the Hetzer, we get the Hetzer has, let's see here. Well, it's not telling us the armor. Alright, vehicle details. Oh, here we go. 60 millimeters at the front, and it's very well sloped in the front, but 20 on the sides and 8 in the rear. The Hetzer has an interesting choice of guns. We have the 75mm L43, 75mm L48, or the 105mm 42 L28. And that's the gun that is most commonly seen on the Hetzer being used. It fires a very good high explosive round and a very good high explosive anti-tank round. The Stug III has a choice of 4 guns. It has the short-barreled 75mm L24 that it was originally issued with. Then you have the 75mm L43 and the 75mm Pack 39 L48, which it was equipped with in turn. Later versions of the Stug III, and in this one, the Stug III is given it the 105mm 42 L28. So it does get the same gun as the Hetzer. So it's got speed and maneuverability over the Hetzer, and it has the same gun. The one area where it lacks against the Hetzer is its thinner armor to the front, and in fact it's not really well sloped. Also, you have a bit of a shot trap effect that I believe is up here. In reading about the Stug III, there said there was a gunner's sight above the driver's slit, and that created a shot trap. I don't have tank inspector, but I would believe this point right here is fairly thin armor. However, it's not a very big target to hit. One of the things I found about the Stug III that gives it an advantage over the Hetzer is its profile. This is a very low-seated tank. Now the Hetzer is as well, but I believe it comes up a little bit higher. I've been in matches where tanks have tried to shoot at me and their rounds have sailed over because I have such a low profile. This thing hugs the ground very well. But again, its armor isn't the best, so it really relies on speed and maneuverability to relocate during battles. And I'm going to show you some of that in the 2 replays that I have. Also, what I wanted to cover too was my equipment. I give it a tank rammer. Practically all my tanks have medium caliber tank gun rammers, for the mediums. This one has a gun laying drive. Using the derp gun, I find it very good. The derp gun has an aiming time of 2 seconds, so the gun laying drive helps to reduce that aim time a little bit. I'm also using improved ventilation class 2 to increase the general level of skill of the crew. If you can see over here, my crew is not up to 100% on its first perk yet. For rounds, I pretty much just run HE. Don't bother with AP if you're going to run the derp gun. Some players will use heat. I tend not to use heat. I tend to not like it when it bounces. The fact that it does some damage just about every time it hits. Using the small repair kit, first aid kit, and octane. Again, I use octane on my M3LE, and I use it on the Stug III as well. It only has 260 hit points, and I don't get lit on fire hardly at all with this. And with that, I want to take you to my replays and show you what this thing does on the battlefield. And here we are in the first replay on my Stug III B. I am a Tier 6 match on Malinovka. Now, given that I'm at the bottom of the list, I am heading over towards the southwest area, hoping I can take up some covered positions where I can shoot at anybody that's approaching from that side. But as I'm heading this way, there's only 4 of us that want to be heading in this direction. And as our dispersion progresses, it turns out only the T1 Heavy and myself are headed down towards the southwest corner here. Giving you my camera perspective. Just kind of looking off over in that direction, thinking, where can I set up? I come up here at first, sometimes tanks get spotted coming up over that middle. set up in this bush, and I'm just looking to see if anybody reveals themselves. Oh, and there is a T-50. One shot it, he's done. So there you go. High explosive shot in the side of the T-50 and kills him in one shot, doing over 350 damage. I pulled back in case I'm taking fire from those buildings over there in the south, but this T1 Heavy wants his corner, so I let him have it. Most of our team is occupied with the hill. Just myself and the T1 Heavy really are covering this side of the map. So I don't bother to go all the way over to the road because I won't get any support over there if I go over all the way to that low side. Well, in fact, I do go this way, but nope, there's an M4 that shows up, so.
Critical hit.
Do 104 hitting in front of the M4. I reload again. Miss him. That's my tracks. Taking hits from the M4 A2E4. Oh, and I just shot into that M4 as he's trying to turn on me. I'm down to 53 health, and I back off. During the battle, I think I mistook that E4 for Jumbo, but in effect it is not. It is a premium Sherman tank available in the gift store. But being low on health, I turn around and I head for cover. And just note I'm making a speed of 38, 39, 40 kilometers per hour, so you see the speed that this tank destroyer gets up to very fast. I'm expecting that E4 to chase me. The T1 Heavy that had been with me over on that side, he's been taken out. So here I am. I'm back into these trees, looking for a good spot to take cover, and I hide up in this bush right here. And I just wait. So again, just note the speed with which I left the position I was in. I backed up because I was pretty much by myself there, and the E4 I felt was in a stronger position. So I conducted a tactical retreat, and I put myself into a strong position behind cover. And so far the E4 has not popped up, but he will. There he is. I don't have 6th sense on this tank, but he's not acting like he sees me. I tried to put one into him, missed. He still hasn't spotted me. Missed again. So with this gun, it is kind of hard to hit vehicles on the move. And there we go. Got him.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
So I move again. Concerned I could be spotted. There is artillery in play. Come back over here, making use of the terrain, not popping out. I don't know if anybody else is coming from that side. We only have 2 enemy tanks that have been identified right now. It looks like an SU-85 and a Hellcat. Nope, there's the T1 Heavy. He is advancing on the cap. Very foolish of him to come across the open. And take him out. Okay, so now I'm up to 4 kills. What's left is a Panzer IV-H. Hellcat's destroyed, so the SU-85, the Panzer IV-H, and an M7 Priest. Nope, an M37, I'm sorry. I'm still staying over on this side. I don't know where that Panzer IV-H is. It's 13-9. We've pretty much got this. But just note the speed maneuverability that the Stug III B has. It really is a quick little tank destroyer. And with that derp gun, it's equal in firepower to the Hetzer. I'm coming back this way. I mean, my team is pushing to the east side. And there they go. They've spotted the arty. Still, we don't know where that Panzer IV-H is. I think what I'm going to do is head down that road if it doesn't look like it's being covered. Yep, I'm saying I'm going to go the one line. But again, note the speed. I mean, this really is a quick tank destroyer. I'm surprised I don't see more of them out there. And I'm still trying to use cover. I don't want to be spotted too quickly. Oh, there's the Panzer IV-D. I thought it was a 4-H. And he's dead. So, a pretty good match. Now let's look at the results. And here are the results. As we see, an Ace Tanker badge, Fire for Effect, Fighter, Duelist, and Bruiser. Team score gives me 917 damage with 4 kills, 857 base XP. On my detailed report, fired 8 shots, hit with 5, penetrated with 5, shots fired at me, 5 hit, 2 penetrated, 3 bounced. So the armor can be a little bit bouncy. Damage blocked by armor 110, spotted 2, damaged 4, destroyed 4, and damage due to player's assistance 434. And 21,289 silver. I didn't have auto repair, auto resupply clicked on for this tank destroyer, so I don't have that. But those are the results from that battle, so you can see how good that was. And next I'll take you to the next replay. And here we are in the second replay. This is a tier 4 battle on Miravanka. This one is notable for the amount of damage I take, the number of tanks who come at me, and how easily, or well, not how easily, but how able I am to maneuver my tank around them. Starting in the south on a standard battle on Miravanka, I head over here to this slightly wooded area, popular for tank destroyers to take up sniping positions. I'll give you my fixed camera angle. It's very typical for tank destroyers to head over here. This is a popular area for tank destroyers. You can see by the amount of cover they can get, and if their team comes up this way, they can get some good spotting damage in, or score hits based on the spotting that tanks on their team do. But pretty much like in the last battle, no tanks on our side are coming up this way. But I'm pushing myself a little bit here, more probably than I would in other matches. Maintaining my low profile, I mean, you can just see how low the the Stug III B is to the ground. I did not note that in the last replay. Take a hit there from somebody. Maybe the T-40. And I back up. Yeah, probably a little wiser to back up a little bit. There is one arty to either side. And we're down 0 to 2 right now. And there's a light tank that got behind us, and I didn't even see him on the map. I'm calling out attention, and I don't have a shot at him, so I turn my attention back to these tanks over here. And I back up. Oh, now there's that BT-7 again. I'm trying to see if I can get him. Nope. Looking back to my left. I don't know if I've been spotted, so just move again, taking advantage of the low ground. There's an M3 Stewart. Oh, I don't get him. But there's a T-40. I'll lock up on him.
Critical hit.
Hit him. He wasn't even looking at me. He looks to be running the derp gun. Get him again.
Got him.
First kill. The enemy team is winning 9 to 6 right now. But they all seem to be holding back into those woods on the east side of the map. Even though they changed that east side a little bit, I mean, it's still possible for tanks to camp over there. Now, here's an M3 Lee. Okay. I'm stopping it here. Anyone who drives an M3 Lee, you see what this one's doing? Going over the hill. Check out my review of the M3 Lee. What do I tell you to do? Stay to low ground. This tank destroyer, yeah. This high-profile medium tank doesn't do this. So, watch what happens. He's putting fire into me, and I hit him for 190. Now I'm backing off, because he does have a fast reload and already put one shot into me. I'm down to 29 health, but he put himself up on high ground, made himself a nice juicy target. He's a one-shot kill for anybody on the map. And what's he doing? Staying on that hill. I'm re-establishing a covered position. Seeing what targets I can hit. Low health Matilda. Got him.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Assume I've been spotted. Back up. M3 Lee going over the top of the hill again. And got him. Now, here comes a BT-7. Very fast light tank. Alright, well, maybe not that fast.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And he gets it. But note how easily I turned my tank to bring my gun to bear on him. Spawn again, heading back into cover. Scores are a bit closer now, 12-11. I'm on 4 kills. We have 4 kills on our other tank destroyer. T-46 on our cap. Got
Enemy
him.
harbor is destroyed.
I'm on 5 kills now. Oh! LTP. These are pretty quick little light
Permission
tanks.
to engage.
But
Enemy
brought my
vehicle
gun back to
destroyed.
bear on him very easily. Now I have a top gun. We are down to an SU-76 and a Tier 4 Arty. The Arty has not been spotted all match. It has 0 kills. And note in the comments that I'm so lucky. I really did feel so lucky to survive this battle. But I owe it largely due to the maneuverability of this tank. I could get it out of trouble quickly. Our looks is telling us that the SU has 24 hit points. I'm saying I do too. And this is dangerous because the Su-76 can just sit and wait. I'm taking up this side of the field, going up this side of the field, because I figure he's going to be hiding back pretty much where he was spotted. The advantage for him is to sit back and wait for us, try and maintain cover. So, I'm seeing if I can get the last 2 tanks on my side to join me up north here, and that way if we push together, he might hit one of us, might kill one of us, but then one of us can follow up with the kill shot on him. And if we're moving together, Artie is less likely to hit us. And I'd like to know if this Cruiser 2 has the derp gun. I have a Cruiser 2. I run it with its derp gun. I mean, I do like that gun on that tank. Cruiser 2 is the only tank I've ever earned a call bottoms medal on. Okay, so now the Su-5 has been taken out. Only one left is that Su-76. And here we're about to emerge from cover and enter open ground. So we can pretty much assume we will be spotted. What we have to hope is that he reveals his position by firing at us. He's not firing on the Marder 38T yet. I push up. Oh, there he is. I stop, I bring my gun to bear, but he fires quicker than I do, so I'm dead. But the Marder 38T follows up and gets him. That's the result of that battle. And here are the results. What I was able to do. Top Gun and the Stug III B. First class badge, fire for effect, duelist, bruiser, Top Gun. On a team score, I was second with 827 damage. The Marder 38T did 965, and what's odd is we both got Top Gun. So a dual Top Gun. The enemy's Matilda had a high caliber. Good for him. And there's my results. 10 rounds fired, 8 hit, 8 penetrated, did 827 damage. I took 3 hits, 3 penetrated. I didn't bounce any this time. Spotted 2, damaged 6, destroyed 6, and damage due to player's assistance, 29. So, that's the result. And what else can I say about the Stug III B? Not much more than what you've seen. It's fast, it's maneuverable, and it has a good gun and a very low profile. So, would I suggest you get this tank destroyer? Absolutely. If you like the speed and maneuverability, this is one to get over the Hetzer. But I'm not going to take anything away from the Hetzer. That is itself a very good tank destroyer and a lot of fun for people to drive. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at driving it. So, that's the end of that review. Go get yourself a Stug III B with the derp gun. And as always, have fun and good luck out there.